I'm out here in the cornfield. It's tall now. We've got what's called a drop. You might be able to see that one missing right there. The wind blew it out and broke it, so we got to fix it so we don't have a big hole in the ground. Which it probably is a big line from where it shoots straight down to the ground and doesn't get spread out. We'll see if I can't do this. It's pretty muddy in here too. I'm gonna try and hold the phone. I don't know, I need to get a gimbal or something that I can mount the phone. I've got decent signal out here, so hopefully it doesn't fade out. Hopefully I don't fall on my ass. It is slick. This is what you call a pivot track. Boy, it is fucking muddy. Let me get over here out of this. There's a little hole there. Anyways, you can see that one missing there. That's called a drop. There's one missing. I got to chip out this old one and replace it. So I figured I'd just go live, see if I can do this. Now, I got to hang this bitch up there. That way I don't have to carry it up. Just hang it up there like that. Then I'll climb up. This is the tall tire, they call it. My pipe wrench. I've got my bag here. So we'll see if I can't climb this son of a bitch without dropping the phone. Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah! Just got brand new shoes. The old ones, they put a hole in them, so they weren't watertight anymore. Oh man. That's the downside of having muddy shoes. It's then the metal's slick. I gotta get some shit off my shoes before I fall on my ass. Okay, let me shimmy out this son of a bitch. Like I said, my shoes are muddy, so I'm sliding. An angle. I'm probably about, I don't know, 15 foot off the ground. So making that noise is what's in my hand here. This is the drop up close. I'll show you what happened here. Oh yeah. This is a lot more difficult than I thought. I'm trying to do this with the phone in my hand, but sorry, I won't make it. All right, hang that there. Now I've got my bag here. Just got a sweet little trick to it so I can hang it. I know this camera angle sucks, but I'm trying to do all of this at once, so without dropping my phone, I gotta set my phone down for a split second. Actually, I'll just bite it. Okay, so now my bag hangs like that. It's one of the reasons I have this bag. You can see this drop is broken. This part right here, well, this part right here broke off, and actually there's the drop right there. I'll be damned. Usually it's not that close. It's somewhere right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyways, let me zoom back out here. What's up, Justin, Jarrett? Yeah, working on a pivot, fixing a drop. I worked on pivots for about 15 years, so I've got actually quite a bit of experience on them. But now I'm working for a farmer, so that comes in handy for those guys that need knowing what's going on. I need to get something that'll hold my phone. I'm not sure how I'll be able to do this, but anyways, I'm getting my pipe wrench ready. That way I can take this this drop out. And these Van Mars they're not, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of them. Most of the time it won't just come out, it'll break. We'll see if it will come out or if it'll break. You gotta kind of work them a little bit. They're like a plastic. Oh yeah, I'll be damned, this one might actually come out. No, it looks like it broke off. It did. If you look closely, you can see that little break there. Yeah. So, let that thing go to the ground. And now this is where I gotta use a chisel and a hammer. Chisel this out. Let's see here. This is way more difficult than I thought it was gonna be, trying to hold it. Let me there, I might be able to set my phone on this. Anyways, I have what's called a cape chisel. I'm gonna use that to chisel out what's broken off in that outlet, and then I've got a tap and I'll clean it out. Get it ready to put in a new one. Now, is there any way I can mount this thing? I think there is. That way you can see what I'm doing. Well, I'll just have to set my phone here for a minute. Hanging out there while I tap this out. Hopefully my phone doesn't drop. We'll see. Damn, I've got to get set up different so I can have this so you guys can see what I'm doing. Anyways, you'll chip through the edge like that. I gotta get needle nose so that I don't lose that in the pipe, otherwise it can plug up the end gun. Do something similar to this. You break it through one side and then you start to turn it inside itself, and then it'll just pop right out, and then I'll clean it with the tap. I'll get it to this stage here like that, and then I'll grab my pliers and pop it out and then clean it out and put the new one on and be done. Something that I can mount the phone like for on my hat or something. That way you guys can actually see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, now we've got it to this stage. All the old stuff is ripped out. So now I'm going to take a tap and I'm going to clean the threads up. This is what a tap is if you don't know what it is. Some people call it a thread chaser. It's a tap and die. I'm just screwing it in there to clean these threads up. Get all the crap that's out of there and make it ready for the new one. And the reason I can't just hold I'm standing on a little rod here. It's called a truss rod. I don't know if you can kind of get a feel of the height, but I'm about 15 foot off the ground, so it's not like I can just easily stand here. I gotta have like a point of contact. But anyways, clean these threads out. Get it ready for the new drop. You can't go in too deep on these holes because you'll break your tap. Taps aren't cheap. And you don't want to just keep screwing in. You want to go in a little bit and cut and then back up. That way you don't, it's just kind of a common rule when you're using a tap. That way it has room for the new metal, the old metal to get out. Anyways, it cleans it all up nice, gets it ready for this new drop going in. Now I'll just lean over the pipe. I hung it on the wrong side. Whoa, yo. And what I'll do is put a new gooseneck in and a new drop. Yeah, here's where I can. Hopefully you can kind of see me there. I've got to have two hands right now. Now, whenever you're putting these in, you got to be careful at the beginning. You don't want to cross thread it. And then since this is a Van Maar and it's plastic, you don't just screw it in till it's tight. You got to go in a little ways and then backtrack, and then you'll get a better bite out of it. If it would already be tight if I just started screwing in. You got to keep working it back and forth. Side of the pipe. Start. There we go. I'm not a big fan of this style. It's called a Van Maar. It's plastic. Well, Van Maar, I guess, was the old, like the original manufacturer of them, but it's basically just a plastic gooseneck, and it has metal sleeves in here to give it some strength. But I'm just not a big fan of them. Never have been. They always seem to fucking break. Then you get out your trusted pair of Knipex. Best pliers known to man. If you have channel locks, just throw those fucking things out and go get you some Knipex. Okay, and that is it. That's all it takes to replace one of those. Takes a little know-how and then the right tools. Can't be afraid of fucking heights or you fall on your ass. Okay, now I just got to get everything set back up here. Get my tool bag. Now this tool bag, I set this up myself years ago when I worked on pivots, and it has any and everything you need for a pivot. I've got two 9/16, two 1/2 inch, 7/16, a 5/16. This is an old micro switch, one that it wasn't releasing, it's sticking. I got my voltmeter, which I'm missing my amp meter. lost it. But then I've got all my wire strippers and shit in here. I've got an auto set of wire strippers here also. So if you're doing multiple, it makes it a lot easier, which I don't do as much pivot work now. So some of this stuff is, I'm not going to use. And then you got to have a screwdriver that this is rated up to 900 volts. So when you're working on it, you don't worry about getting zapped, because that is definitely a threat. Okay, now I need to, I've got a shoulder strap that way I can put it up on my shoulder, or hang it like you saw hanging, or just this is a good bag for this application. It also has this flap here that'll close up. So when the corn gets tall, it doesn't rip shit out of your bag. You can actually close the whole thing up. Okay, let me get this thing here. I bet you that camera work sucks, huh? Because I need to have balance, but I gotta hold the camera. See, and then you can see it's just a strap. I don't know if you can see that or not. So it hangs there, and then I put it behind my back. This is me. But anyways, it hangs on there like that. It goes back behind me. So like when you're walking through rows, it makes it a lot easier. Now this is a pivot. I'm on the 3rd span. Those deals you see kicking out the side are to try to get from the truck. Hey Sarah, appreciate you stopping in. Sorry, I wasn't able to read chat until just now. Okay, now I gotta climb my happy ass back down without falling on my ass. Which what I'm walking on is, this is the structure of the pivot. And when you have mud on your shoes, it makes it a little slick. So you just gotta be careful. So I just shimmy my way down. This is a tower. That little motor right there is what drives those wheels, those gearboxes that are, now there's some hellacious gears like in that center drive and then on the gearboxes. As you can see, it goes through a lot of mud. This is a low spot though, because we've had a lot of rain, so it's filled up. Over here it's dry. Pivot was going from left to right, which is called forward. So everything behind it's going to be super wet. Now, just gotta climb down. And then jump. Oh yeah! So anyways, that's what I climb up. And then walk along there. Climb out over there. Now I did see the drop on this, so we're gonna go grab that and save it in case we have another drop. These are all different lengths, so as the pipe gets higher off of the ground, because of the arch, you have to change the length. You kind of want it about, roughly 8 to 9 foot. You kind of keep it uniform. Grab that. Dropped. Let's see, where does that damn thing at? It's amazing how shit just disappears in the cornfield. There it is. Camouflaged. Now, I saw the drop over here, so we'll grab it and save it because it'll have a sprinkler on there, and that sprinkler's worth a little bit of money. Where did I see that son of a bitch? I know I saw it. Oh, maybe I was just seeing shit. I could have swore I saw it. No, I'm almost positive I saw that. Huh. see, I was up there looking out over here. Maybe I just saw a corn stalk that looked like the tip of it. I could have swore I saw the drop. And we'll walk through here a little bit. Now you can see that definite line there. That is from that drop that I just fixed being broken. It has 3/4 of an inch of water with no pressure. There's no regulator. So I don't know, it probably had 40, 50 pounds of pressure shooting out 3/4 inch straight line of water. So you can see where it just tore the shit out of the corn. Man, I could have swore I saw that drop over here. Anyways, that's why it's so important to get that fixed, because that would literally leave that line through the whole field and also cut a hole in the ground and then change the pressure of the pivot to where your package isn't doing like it's supposed to. I'll be damned. Could have swore I saw it. Won't be long, this corn will be over my head. That's when you have to swim through these rows. Right now I'm able to just kind of walk over it. Pretty soon when it gets taller than you, then you have to do the same motion as swimming, and you split the rows. If it's cross rows, hopefully you can go with the rows. All right, I'll make my way back to the side-by-side. This one I was lucky too. I didn't need a ladder. So if it's out there in the middle, you need a ladder. Then it's a little more complicated, and you got to carry that out there and everything else. I did this for years though. Now I'm gonna take this bag off and get far I can see this line. You can definitely see that line. If I can see where the line stops, then I know that's where the drop is, because that's where it broke off. Looks like it goes quite a ways, so I'll stand up on this side by side and take a peek. Got my raincoat in case I got to get underneath the pivot. Anyways, that's the bag. It's a great setup. Okay, make sure I got everything. Now we'll take a look over here and see. And it is muddy out here. I can still see it over there about at least 65, 70 yards. I mean, it could have broke off clear around the bend there. So if you can see where it started, it makes sense to go get the drop. Now, I mean, it is muddy. But I think he's putting on about an inch or 3/4 of an inch, so it just got turned off. Now we'll go out here to the pivot point. Get turned around, because I could turn around out here, but you want to try and minimize the damage to the field and the corn. And I do have 4-wheel drive in this thing. Get turned around and get out of the field here, and then I'll probably have to end the live stream and get this pivot rolling. Yeah, I might be able to, we'll see. I need to go turn the power on. Might just wait until, let you guys see it power up, or pressure up is what you actually call it. But now this little deal here, this is for the off season. People will rent out the land that have cattle, and they'll put a tank underneath there, and they'll fill up their tank for the water, with water for the cattle. And this is what we call a pivot point. It's what the pivot pivots on. Now I get turned around here. This thing does have an auto restart, so so I might be able to just wait. But it's like a 5-minute timer, I think, so I'll probably just go kick the power on. I don't know what the timer's set at, but oh, that is slick. Go to kick the power on, and it just happens to be clear out on the edge where the well's at in this particular application. Most of them, everything's at the pivot point there, but this is it's got a new well. The well must have dried up, so they moved it in the field or something, but here we are just going through the cornfield. It's pretty warm already. I think it's supposed to be in the 90s today. This windshield sucks, man. You can't see shit out of it. Yeah, this corn's getting tall. And you can hear in the side-by-side, this shit's thick. You see my tracks where I came in. Now this is the pivot road. It's the one place that you'll ruin a little bit of corn because you got to have a path to get to the pivot point for scenarios like this. Man, that shit is... And this is light too. I mean, this is not a heavy vehicle. If I would have drove the pickup into it, I'd be stuck calling for somebody to tow me out. Yeah, if I would have tried to drive that pickup in 3/4 ton, and it doesn't even have mud tires on it, my ass would have been stuck. Okay, now this is the well where all the water comes from. It shoots it underground all the way out to that pivot point and then down the whole pivot. And then it's got a high dollar variable rate motor on here, so this thing will amp up and it'll ramp up and ramp down depending on what's called for the pressure and what you have it set at. All right, that's a disconnect for the pivot. So the timer is started. I think I might just drive back out there and hit the button, and then we'll wait and make sure everything is running. You don't want to just hit it and assume it's going to run and then drive off and have to be right back. So we'll go out here real fast and see. Big fucking mud flying everywhere. I don't know if you can see that or not, but okay, now we're at the pivot point. And we will start it up. Okay, so it's kicked in. We should start hearing and seeing water here in about 20 seconds or so. It's going all the way from out there where I turned the power on, and it comes up, goes underground. It'll be coming up right here. We'll make sure everything's running before we get out of here. This is a cornfield, in case you live in a city and you never get to see shit like this. And it is flat, really flat in this area. We have some hills, but not too many. Okay, so now the water's starting to hit. You can probably see it coming out of those drops there a little bit. We'll wait for it to pressure up. Make sure everything's running. I'll watch that first tower cycle, and then we'll get the hell out of here. Go load up. Let's see, I gotta close this up. This box is the pivot panel. All the controls for the pivot are in it. That sound you're hearing is just air that's in the line before it gets fully pressured up. This is a half spray. It only sprays out half instead of 360. Now we're just waiting for the rest of the... As soon as the water hits the end of the pivot, then it'll start to get its pressure, because it'll fill the pipe up and get pressurized. Each one of those drops has a regulator on it. I think those are like a 10 psi regulator, so it only allows 10 pounds of pressure to go through it to that drop. Now we'll wait for that thing. Okay, there goes tower 1 cycling, so we know it's running. Now, this is the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 spans that have water. It still hasn't hit the end yet. I mean, we're talking probably, roughly about, let's see, that's probably a 1,200 foot pivot. And then you got the pipe underground, so like over 2,000 feet of pipe, and it's all 8-inch underground. And then the pivot should be 6 and 5 inches. There we go. Now we got pressure to it. Now everything will start acting and working like it's supposed to. Get all the air bubbles out. It's up and running. It's fixed. Now there's still some air as it, once the water hits the end, it will kind of like backtrack towards me as it fills all the air filling the pipe. That's what that sound is. It's fully pressured. Sometimes you just get air in the line too, and it'll just keep. It's not ideal though. You don't want to have air. So let's see what we have for pressure. Now we're just about 30 pounds. Let's see what it calls for on the sprinkler package. Oh, we don't have a chart. Used to be right there. It's a good thing to know, because if it's designed for like 35 pounds of pressure, then you want to have that at 35 pounds of pressure. That way the sprinkler package is doing what it's supposed to. Which with this particular well that I was showing you, that can be changed easily, because you can just turn it up and spin that motor a little faster and get a little more pressure out of it. Man, I don't like the bow. I don't know if you can see that. It's running a little bit of a bow, where the kind of trailing. It's moving to the right. And that little V that you see at the end there is the last tower. It's kind of hanging back. Make sure it's not stuck before I leave, because we did get quite a bit of rain here recently. It's just running a little bit of a bow. Too late in the season now to do anything about it though, because the pivot track's established, and if I were to align it, you can crash the pivot that way. Huh, I'll be damned, look at that, there's a plane right there. See that? We got an airport about a mile away from me, mile and a half. Somebody's out flying their little hobby toy. Okay, well, we'll get out of here. We'll shut everything down. I mean, not shut everything down, lock everything up. I'm gonna shut down the the live stream though. So I appreciate everybody hanging out, stopping in, saying hi. You guys have a good day. Hopefully I can do this more often. See you later.